Hello, everyone. I'm Cheldin Barlett-Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. It is always a pleasure to sit down with my dear friend. I want for him to reintroduce himself, his first and last name, and all he's up to.
Cheldin, I'm Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and of course, the author of Crack the Code, 10 Proven Secrets That Motivate Healthy Behavior and Inspire Fulfillment in Men Over 50.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm so good. I am so good. We're coming off the heels of our This Is It Network Women's Conference, our live women's conference. So we were talking, as we tend to before we hit record, that I was feeling a little sluggish, that I was trying to get myself back into the groove. And I feel like today's conversation is going to help point me in the right direction.
Exactly. So today I want to talk about lifestyle architecture. And so the lead in is that, we've talked about so many important nuanced details about healthy behavior and men's health. I want to take a step back because I think it's good to do every once in a while, sort of restart ourselves in terms of what are the basic elements of a healthy lifestyle. So I've identified 5 very fundamental dimensions of approaching a healthy lifestyle, 2 that are sort of like the planning stage, and then 3 are in the implementation stage, if you will.
Fair. Well, fill me in.
So on the planning side, number 1, we want to start with the why, right? What's the purpose behind a healthy lifestyle? In my research of healthy men over 50, healthy behaving men over 50, excuse me, they had a strong sense of purpose. Their lifestyle, diet and exercise was a means to an end. It's that end game that drives the motivation, that puts the fire in the belly, that gives you the discipline you need. Dancing at your daughter's wedding, retirement, travel, better sex with your wife, whatever the case might be, that's what you got to start off. So have a strong why. I know, like, for example, I shared with your audience at the live event, I know what year my 7-year-old grandson is likely to graduate from college, and I want to be there. So I've done the math and I figured that out. So you need a strong why and a purpose, because that's what's going to stay in you. Number 2, in planning stage, build your healthy lifestyle network. And if possible, anchor it, appoint a woman as the captain of the team. Men's health is a team sport, right? Your chances are, and women are the most valuable players. Your chances are greater if you have a team of folks that can support you. You don't need to do this and go this alone. So those are the 2 key steps in the planning stage. Now, in terms of implementation, obviously design your diet and exercise program. That's at the heart of it. Think about your sort of lifestyle logistics. Are you an early morning person? Are you a nighttime person in terms of exercise? What's going to give you the greatest opportunity to sustain some kind of an exercise regimen? And then on the diet side, again, what's going to work for you? I like the Mediterranean diet because it gives some flexibility, but do your homework and try to find something that fits for you. So that's number 1 or number 3 on our list. Number 4 is build your routines, habits, and rituals, right? What I call the guardrails of healthy behavior. You want to get into some kind of a synchronized, rhythm in terms of your life so that, it becomes almost the exception when you don't exercise or you don't follow that diet. Yeah. And then finally, number 5 is be prepared to adjust, right? It's okay to shift gears. It's okay to say, A is not working, let's go to B, right? The best executives out there, the best tactics are always recognize the fact that we have the right to change course. So those are the 5 rituals that I talk about in terms of healthy lifestyle. I think if you look at that in that respect, then you got a better chance of keeping it up over time.
I love this. And it sounds like it all really evolves. I mean, I think that understanding your why might change depending on how old you are or what it is that makes sense. I love also the factor, selfishly, of course, as it relates to that network, as it relates to having some key folks within your life that can hold you accountable to what it is that you need to do and how in a lot of cases, supporting that why, right? Having it be a family affair. We've talked about it many a time, making sure that those that surround you are on board for your healthy journey and they're not necessarily going against the grain and trying to torture you or encouraging you to do things that aren't necessarily good for you. The diet and the exercise, I want you to touch a little bit about that and the patience that it takes. And I guess what I'm trying to do is encourage individuals to be patient, right, as it relates to these changes. Because I feel like sometimes people think it's 0 to 1,000 or 1,000 to 0 when making these diet or exercise changes. Could you just talk a little bit about that before we talk?
Sure. You know, we live in a society where we expect instant results. And, you know, the best results when it comes to lifestyle are built up over time, right? So you're right. You're spot on. You need to be patient. You need to give yourself an opportunity. Trial and error is part of the process, but it's building up over time. Now, that doesn't mean you can't keep track. You know, if you ran for 10 minutes and now you're running for 12 minutes and then 15 minutes, or you're doing 2 laps around the block and now you're doing 3 and 4, that's all little steps, progressive steps, incremental, perhaps, but still good to measure so that you can, again, build that momentum and sustain yourself over the long haul.
I love that. I love that. And that also leans into, I guess it would be the fourth of the scenario, which would be that routine, right? Like getting yourself into that routine, getting yourself to maybe to do the same things, maybe even at the same time every day or within the same kind of, any advice that you have in building a routine and for those that are chaotic or overwhelmed in thinking?
Again, that's a big part of what I call lifestyle logistics. Like I've shared with your listeners a lot of times, you know, in my world, I love to, like, you know, I'm an early morning gym person. I love to have that, you know, a cup of coffee before I go out. I love to like catch up on the overnight emails, catch up on the headlines. It's sort of like, it's quiet in the house. Nobody's up. It's my special time. And I really, over the years, have really come to enjoy that. And then, of course, we go to the gym and you know, get on with the day. But that's sort of like, you know, my routine. And you find like little, you know, what I call micro motivators, you know, that time sort of just focusing, stepping back, preparing for the day is my little micro motivator. And I really like it. So it gives me a reason to get up in the morning, which otherwise might not be an easy thing to do.
Might not be an easy thing to do. I agree. I'm an early morning riser. You and I can touch base first thing in the morning. I'm up before everybody else, before the feet come down the stairs or the emails even come my way. I like to kind of get ahead of it. I love the last one. And I think it ultimately is one of the most important, if not the most important one, is to be flexible, right? Is to be able to say comfortably, this might not be working, or I should be able to adjust, or I should be able to make some shifts, because I think we're trying to follow the leader, but not the leader's not always consistent with what we need, right? And so,
look, it's what works in your life, you know. And if you know, getting dietary suggestions from a source is what it takes. A couple different efforts there, that's fine. If you try working out in the morning and that doesn't work, shift to the night, or find if you can do it on your lunch break, whatever the case might be. There's nothing wrong, again, with trial and error and experimentation.
I love this. I love this. Okay, these are plenty of options. Definitely can point us in the right direction. We were talking about getting back to basics, not necessarily an overcomplicated scenario, something that's going to be daunting, just ways in which you can change your lifestyle to live a better life. I absolutely love this. If people want to get in touch with you, my dear friend, if they want to follow, fan, and like you, where are the best places for them to do so?
On social media, go to Louis Bezich, at Louis Bezich. And then, of course, you can right on my shoulder, 50plusmen.com, our website, get you all the info as to what's going on in my world of men's health.
I love it. I love it. I promise you, if you get in touch with Louis, you will not be disappointed. All of the information that he shares is not only accurate, but for me, always on point and on time. So I'm so grateful for having you as part of our This Is It Network community. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, guys, get in touch with Louis, get all the information that you need, get your hands on his book. It is truly, truly worth it. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Cheldin Barlett-Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.